We come on the air tonight following breaking news after Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck while hosting an event at Utah Valley University.
We have learned that Kirk is the co-founder and executive director of Turning Point USA, a right-wing nonprofit, and has now been pronounced dead. All Access starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to All Access. I'm Alexa Beck.
And I'm Adriana Myers. We begin with that breaking news tonight. Charlie Kirk, well-known conservative advocate, was shot in the neck at a rally at Utah Valley University. He was pronounced dead earlier today. Our Jordan Bankston has been following the developments and joins us live tonight in downtown High Point, where Charlie Kirk held a rally earlier last year while campaigning with Vice President J.D. Vance. Jordan?
Alex and Adriana, in the building right behind me, both J.D. Vance and Charlie Kirk were here last year speaking to High Point students and community members to try to rally them up to vote for President Donald Trump. Now, fast forward to a little bit under a year, Charlie Kirk has now been shot.
To welcome Charlie Kirk to the stage.
Charlie Kirk, a prominent conservative activist, was shot earlier today at a Utah Valley University event where he was debating students.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what.
That video taken moments before the tragic event, which sent shockwaves to students here at High Point University.
Shocking, but also not, because I feel like he was doing so many of these that it was bound to happen at some point.
Face was just like, I think that's like so crazy that someone like that's such like a public figure would get shot, especially in Utah where it's like conservative Mormons. I thought that was really crazy.
Faculty also pitched in.
This is a free speech issue. It really is. And my goodness, I think we're obligated to listen to people we might disagree with. We might learn a thing or two along the way.
The next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, everybody.
As the situation was unfolding, saying, quote, "Say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, a genuinely good guy and a young father." Students plan to follow just that.
We're literally leading a prayer night, and we will definitely be praying for Charlie Kirk and his family.
And sources now say that Charlie Kirk is now confirmed dead. Reporting out of Stock and Grain, I'm Jordan Bankston, HP Vision All Access.
Jordan, thank you. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest developments.
This shooting has come during a nationwide spike in political violence. In the past year and a half alone, there have been many instances. This includes the murder of a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, a fire that was set to the governor of Pennsylvania's home, and the assassination attempt on President Trump.
Bipartisan support for Kirk has been expressed around the country in the hours since the shooting. Former Speaker of the House and Democrat Nancy Pelosi posted earlier that political violence has, quote, "no place in our nation," end quote. President Trump ordered that all American flags throughout the U.S. are lowered at half-mast until Sunday evening at 6 p.m.
There is currently a person of interest in custody. Joining us now for more information on Turning Point USA is our Lauren Shenna.
Charlie Kirk's biggest legacy is Turning Point USA, the organization he founded back in 2012 when he was only 18. What started as a small student group quickly expanded into one of the most influential conservative youth organizations in the country. Turning Point USA's mission was to promote free markets, limited government, and what it described as traditional American values, mainly targeting college campuses, which Kirk often argued leaned too liberally. In the past decade, it has built chapters on hundreds of college campuses and hosted major national conferences that drew big-name conservative speakers, including President Donald Trump. Turning Point USA became known for its aggressive media style and controversial projects like the Professor Watch List, which spotlighted faculty it claimed were pushing left-wing agendas. Turning Point Action, their political side, also played a role in voter outreach and organization around elections. Kirk and Turning Point USA reshaped how conservative politics connected with young people, building a network that turned campus activism into real political influence.
To other news now, High Point University recently welcomed the class of 2029, holding its annual freshman move-in weekend and convocation. The campus was buzzing with high energy, live music, and the cheers from hundreds of faculty, staff, and student volunteers as freshmen and their families arrived. HPU welcomed 1,780 new students for the fall semester, marking the largest class in the school's history.
With all our freshmen moving in, one thing that is for sure is High Point is ranked highly for their dorms. But what about the new trend taking over social media, transforming small spaces into a big vibe? Joining us now to break it down is our own Noelia Velasquez.
Let's be honest, other colleges' dorms aren't exactly known for their style. But here at HBU, students are known for taking one of the top dorms in the nation and making them their own. From first-year move-ins to senior statements, dorms are becoming a whole new form of self-expression. From LED lights to gallery walls, students are bringing big style to small spaces. In just a few hours, a blank canvas turns into a room that feels just like home. Some go for the clean, minimal look, others go full theme. Either way, inspiration from TikTok and YouTube is pushing dorm design to a whole new level. But it's not just about the aesthetic, it's also about function. From underbed storage to desk organizers, every inch counts. Students are getting smart and stylish with their setups. Whether you're going all out or keeping it simple, your dorm should reflect you. And if you're proud of your space, don't forget HPU has its annual dorm room contest, and the competition is going to be tough this year with some seriously next level setups. Last year's winner scored VIP access to meet our fall concert artist. So who is taking the crown this time around? We will see. For All Access, I am Noelia Velasquez.
Noelia, thank you. 2 HPU faculty members were recently recognized for their dedication to students and contributions to the university. Dr. Paul Ringel, a professor of history, received the Innovation and Creativity in Teaching Award last week because of his innovation in the classroom. Over the last 20 years, Ringel has taught more than a dozen courses in the general education curriculum, emphasizing the productive application of knowledge. Ringel's colleagues noted his ability to challenge students to work on complex, community-engaged projects that have benefited the city of High Point. And Dr. Jenny Sharp, professor and chair of the Department of Mathematical Sciences, was the recipient of the Extraordinary Leadership Award, recognizing her strong leadership at the department, school, and university level. Since joining the department, Sharp has taken major roles and has been instrumental in promoting the integrity of courses supporting liberal arts. Both award recipients received a plaque and a $5,000 cash award. Sunny skies today and warm weather. Joining us now to break it all down is Catherine Cancro.
Good evening, Panthers. I'm Catherine with your High Point forecast for this week. Today is a gorgeous day. The sun is shining, but autumn chills are settling in. Today's low was 55, but fear not. The temperature picked back up at a high of 75 for the afternoon, with wind speeds being as fast as 9 miles per hour, aiming southwest, and nothing but a blue sky and bright sun. You can expect for today to be sunny with a little chill. Thursday and Friday can be expected to have similar conditions with a high right around 80 and lows in the high 50s. For your weekend, Saturday and Sunday look great, with the high expected to be 79 and the low temperature of 57. You should expect the perfect chance to get your tan on at the pools anytime afternoon. This is Catherine with your weather report for Wednesday, September 10th to Sunday the 14th. Alexa and Adriana, back to you.
A new Japanese garden behind Cottrell Hall is currently under construction. This past April, HPU announced plans for a new garden following a generous gift given by David and Christy Cottrell during HPU's annual Arbor Day celebration. The garden is being designed by the curator of the well-known Portland Japanese Garden. With the excavators and dirt that fill the space now, the area may not look too beautiful, but is expected to be a stunning display of peace in the natural world. Construction is expected to be completed in the next few months, opening a new study space for students to enjoy outside.
Every year, HPU students gather together on those same steps to honor those we lost during the tragedy of 9/11. For every participant who runs the 110 flights of stairs, the Student Government Association will donate $20 to the Tunnel of Towers Foundation. This foundation has been helping America's heroes by providing mortgage-free homes to Gold Star and fallen first responder families with young children, and by building specially adapted homes for injured veterans and first responders. The stair run will take place on September 11th at the Cottrell Amphitheater from 8 to 10 a.m. and 6 to 8 p.m. If you are physically able, consider participating in this honorable event.
Italian fashion icon Giorgio Armani has passed away at the age of 91. Armani was a famous fashion designer known for forging a new path in menswear and for his minimalistic designs. Something many people don't know is that Armani first sought out to become a doctor before pivoting to the world of fashion. He eventually opened his luxury fashion house in 1975 in Milan, Italy. He spent his life dressing many A-list celebrities and designing incredible pieces for runways around the world. Since his death, Donatella Versace, Julia Roberts, Reese Witherspoon, and others have taken to the internet to share their love for their dear friend. It is clear Armani will be missed by fashion lovers around the world, but his legacy will live on through his empire he created. As we enter the height of the 2025 hurricane season, Hurricane Kiko makes its way past northern Hawaii. The National Association of Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has predicted a hurricane season of 13 to 18 named storms with above 39 mile-per-hour winds. Hurricane Kiko has been developing in the Pacific Ocean and just yesterday lowered to the category of a tropical storm. Hawaii is not currently taking a direct hit, but is being affected as the storm passes to the north of the state. A high surf warning has been issued for the east-facing beaches of the Hawaiian Islands. Coming up, an alarming Amber Alert sent throughout Asheboro and surrounding areas on Sunday evening, leading to a devastating discovery.
And a fatal accident in Watauga County. The body of a missing 7-year-old boy was reported found Tuesday morning in Asheboro. He was found in a pond near the area where he was initially reported missing on Sunday. According to a press release, Liam A. King went missing in the area of Forest Hills Drive. Liam suffered from cognitive impairments and reportedly left the area on foot under the watch of his mother's boyfriend. The investigation is ongoing, and the sheriff said that the body would be sent to the medical examiner to determine the cause of death. The Randolph County Sheriff thanked the community for the help and support in locating the boy. A man died Sunday after being struck by a pickup truck while riding a bicycle in Watauga County, according to the North Carolina State Highway Patrol. 39-year-old Joseph Butler was critically injured Saturday evening when a 2003 Ford F-259 crashed into his electric bike on the US 421. Butler was transported to a nearby hospital where he died Sunday from his injuries.
The Guilford County Sheriff's Office has reported an increase in check fraud recently. There have been 9 reported cases of fraud in the last 2 months alone. The Sheriff's Office is attempting to spread the word and remind people of ways to protect against this type of fraud. Some suggestions they gave are taking checks directly to the post office or making payments online instead of using checks. Bria Evans, GCSO Public Information Officer, says the increase has not just been noticed locally, but on a national level as well. If you do choose to use checks instead of other forms of payment, use caution and be sure to check on your bank accounts regularly.
Guilford County Sheriff's Office arrested and charged a man on Saturday after he was accused of child sex crimes. Deputies arrested Luster Parker on one count of felony indecent liberties with a child on Monday, September 1st. The sheriff's office said Parker is at the Guilford County Detention Center in Greensboro under a $5,000 bond, and their investigation is ongoing. Switching gears now, our political reporter Jake Gutman is here to break down your politics report. Jake?
Thank you, Adriana. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., serving as U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary under President Trump, is at the center of a mounting crisis, facing bipartisan backlash even from within his own family over hardline vaccine policies and sweeping changes at the nation's public health agencies. Last week, Secretary Kennedy endured a fiery Senate Finance Committee hearing. Lawmakers from both parties pressed him over his decision to fire CDC Director Susan Menarez and dismantle the agency's independent vaccine advisory panel, moves that critics say have eroded public health safeguards and fueled confusion. Beyond the hearing, 9 former CDC directors wrote a scathing op-ed labeling Kennedy's leadership as dangerous. They warned his actions could increase the risk of disease outbreaks and weaken the CDC. Kennedy's own family has not held back either. His sister Kerry, nephew Joe, and cousin Joe Kennedy III have publicly called for his resignation, condemning his vaccine skepticism and insisting public health decisions belong with qualified professionals. Despite this, President Trump remains firmly in his corner. Despite growing alarm over vaccine policies and political fallout, the president praises Kennedy's independence and continues to back his tenure. With pressure rising from Capitol Hill, health leaders, and even his own family, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s future leading U.S. public health hangs in the balance. For All Access News, I'm Jake Gutman. Back to you guys.
Jake, thank you. An 18-year-old was charged with first-degree murder following a shooting within the city of High Point. At 9:30 p.m. on September 1st, police responded to a call about an assault with a deadly weapon. When they arrived to the scene located on East Lexington Avenue, they found a 20-year-old with a gunshot wound. They later died on the scene. Police then learned that another team was arriving at a local hospital with gunshot wounds. He was later identified as the suspect in the shooting. The suspect is out of the hospital and being held at the Guilford County Jail with no bond. This investigation is ongoing. Up next, more information on President Trump's proposed plan to send the National Guard to Chicago and a sports update with Nick Allen.
Plus, our Lauren Shenna brings us to a unique class being offered here on campus.
Y'all, if you need any type of editing, videography, photography, or any type of podcast, reach out to us at any of the links on the screen. We can complete that job for you at an affordable price at YMB
Welcome back. President Trump has doubled down on plans to send troops into America's third largest city. On September 2nd, Trump officially announced that he plans to send troops to Chicago after some time of stating he wanted to do so. However, just one day later, Trump declared that there is currently a debate on whether he should send troops to New Orleans instead. One major difference between the two cities is that Chicago is Democratic-led, while New Orleans is Republican-led. It appears the sudden shift may have been due to the pushback Trump has received from the people of Chicago. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson has made his opinion on the issue clear. He does not want the president or the National Guard stepping in.
Nearly 32%. Shootings and shooting victims are down nearly 40%. Robberies are down 35%. Carjackings are down significantly. Is there more work to be done? Of course it is. Is sending military troops into cities a way to actually drive community safety? Absolutely not.
It is still unclear if President Trump will deploy the National Guard in either city.
High Point University students, faculty, and staff frequently conduct, publish, and share research and creative works in a variety of ways. Recently, 16 physician assistant students provided hearing and vision screenings for approximately 60 children at the Carson Stout Boys and Girls Club in the city of High Point. Community Collaboration for Children Incorporated, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting children and families in need, coordinated the screenings that included 2 sites. The screenings provided PA students with their first opportunity to work with pediatric parents while helping prepare local children to return to school. At High Point University, a class called Zine's Publishing Underground is teaching students to create their own handmade booklets. Reporter Lauren Shenna shows us how Zines are giving students a new way to express themselves.
This may just look like a small handmade booklet, but zines are actually a chance for students to share their voices in a big way. Here at High Point, a class is teaching students how to turn their creativity into something you can actually hold in your hand.
A zine is meant to be sort of small and messy and punk and bohemian. It's meant to be something other than this really crisp, publishable piece. But I think that's what makes zines fun in that way. They shouldn't be clean and awesome and perfect. They can be amateurish, messy, and almost obsessive in their quality, but they shouldn't be anything other than that, right?
In a world where everything from Instagram posts to essays feels pressure to be perfect, zines flip that idea on its head. They're raw, handmade, and all about expression, not perfection.
If someone has an idea or an opinion, they have all the tools they need to create something and share that. The empowerment of DIY, like students can do these things themselves, even if it's not professional or polished.
And while they may start as class projects, professors say the lessons students take from zines reach far beyond the page.
Students who don't feel like they have a lot of artistic ability are still finding ways to express themselves without the barrier of, oh, I can't draw, or my handwriting is trash. That's okay, it's kind of supposed to be. That's the really useful part of doing them in the classroom, is that you have to get rid of all those expectations, and that's hard for people. Just go make a zine. Look up how to fold a zine and go make one, because you can't do it wrong. They're perfect.
From artwork to personal stories, zines are all about expression, and that's exactly what students are learning in this classroom. For HPU All Access, I'm Lauren Shenna.
As the fall season approaches, local festivities in the Triad are underway. The Corn Maze and Fall Festival at the Armstrong Artisan Farm welcomes families on every Friday and Saturday until November 8th. Entry costs $13.50 per person, ages 3 and up, and includes access to everything on the farm. Pumpkins are sold separately. Woods of Terror, located in Greensboro, launches its 2025 season on September 13th and will be open on Saturdays through September, with admission beginning at $40. In October, the thrilling activity will be open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Be ready to get spooked.
A centuries-old unusual sport has been affected in recent years by low regulation. Pigeon racing, yes, you heard that right, is a globally popular sport but has specifically grown over the years in Taiwan. This sport has been a part of Taiwanese culture since the Japanese colonial rule over a century ago. Today, the racing circle has 200,000 breeders and trainers and generates millions of dollars every year. However, a lack of regulation within this unique community has led to a number of illegal activities, including drugs, illegal betting, bird abductions, and more. Chair of the National Pigeon Racing Body, Wu Changming, wants to work towards making the sport safer by creating laws for it. However, he says the Taiwanese government has not been helpful in this regard because they see the sport as a source of crime. Numerous organizations, including The Guardian, the Taipei Times, and PETA have written stories highlighting the problems within the sport and the need for action. Busy week in the world of sports, and joining us now is Nick Allen to break it down.
It has been a busy last couple of days surrounding High Point Athletics. We start with the 15th ranked HBU men's soccer team, who has been nothing short of spectacular to start the season, which included a season opening win over 2019 NCAA national champion and top 25 ranked Georgetown University. The men's team kicked off the weekend against a toughly battled VCU team on the road and picked up the tremendous win in Richmond, Virginia last Friday night, 3-1. VCU got out to a strong start, scoring in the 8th minute to take a 1-0 lead. But High Point switched gears, sparking a fume within, scoring 3 unanswered goals from 3 different scorers, including one in the 39th minute from Prosper Adigani, then another one coming in the form of a penalty kick less than 4 minutes later from team captain Jefferson Amaya. And the third goal, a little over 5 minutes into the second half, from Nick Herb, the senior's first goal of the season. VCU had no response, as Panther goalkeeper Josh Caron didn't allow another goal and had 4 saves the rest of the way to close out the win for High Point 3-1. The Panthers' 3 goals Friday night is the most HBU has scored in a match all season. The victory over VCU adds on to their already impressive resume of wins so far this season as they move to 3-0-1, with one tie coming to UNC Charlotte on August 29th. Later on, we'll be discussing HBU's most recent game against 10th-ranked Marshall University, Tuesday, September 9th. We switch over to the women's side, where the HBU women's soccer team was looking to pick up its first win of the season against UNCW Sunday afternoon at Vert Stadium. However, UNCW had other plans as they kept the Panthers scoreless all game and netted in 3 goals themselves to push HBU's record to 0-5-2. It was not the best outing from the Panthers, but they looked to break their losing streak and get in the winning column Sunday, September 14th at 2 p.m. against West Georgia on the road. West Georgia has a record of 1-6, so HBU should look to leave Georgia with a victory. We leave soccer, but stay with the women's athletics, as the HBU volleyball team was up in Villanova, Pennsylvania all weekend at the Villanova Classic. It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament, with HBU starting the 3-day weekend against Fairfield University on Friday. The Panthers fell in 5 sets 3-2, but would redeem themselves on Saturday against Yale University in another 5-set match 3-2. HBU would then face off against the tournament host Villanova in the final game of the tournament on Sunday. This was the first time the two teams have faced off against each other since 2018 in a match that resulted in a High Point win in straight sets 3-0 in the same venue. This time, it was a different outcome, as the Panthers were only able to pick up a solo set victory as Villanova took the match 3-1 to close out the tournament. With the loss, the Panthers moved to 2-4 on the season, but look to get themselves to a 500 record this upcoming weekend in the Buccaneer Classic presented by the Tri-Cities Airport in Johnson City, Tennessee, with HBU's first match of the tournament coming against Western Carolina on Friday, September 12th at 1:30 p.m., and then the following day at 2:30 p.m. against East Tennessee State. That's all for now in sports. I'm Nick Allen, and this is HBU All Access.
So, Nick, how was the men's soccer game last night?
I don't know if any of y'all were able to catch it, but amazing game, last 11 minutes, crazy. High Point went up 1-0, scored in the first 7 minutes, and then the last 11 minutes, unbelievable, remarkable events. High Point scored, it got called back because of a handball, and then Marshall scored a goal less than 2 minutes later, and then High Point in the 86th minute, and then High Point scored in the 87th minute to make it 2-2 to finish the game. So unbelievable, remarkable events against the 10th ranked team in the country.
Wow. And we have the UNC Charlotte games to look forward to as well.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for tuning in to All Access. I'm Adriana Myers.
And I'm Alexa Beck. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of All Access.